From the Home Slice News Center, this is the Daily Slice for Tuesday, April 12th, 2022. I'm D. Ray Knight, and this is what's going on. Here's the latest on the war in Ukraine. The besieged Ukrainian city of Mariupol has yielded up more horrors after 6 weeks of pummeling by Russian troops. The mayor said more than 10,000 civilians have died in the strategic southern port, their corpses carpeted through the streets. As Russia pounded targets around Ukraine and prepared for a major assault in the east, the country's leader warned President Vladimir Putin's forces could resort to chemical weapons. Western officials say they are investigating an unconfirmed claim by a Ukrainian regiment that a poisonous substance was dropped in Mariupol. Russian President Vladimir Putin insisted Tuesday that the military would achieve its goals in Ukraine. In news closer to home, a man is in custody after police say he barricaded himself inside a restaurant in Rapid City. It happened at Panchero's restaurant on Omaha Street. The Rapid City Police Department says they were assisting the U.S. Marshals Service in serving a warrant at the restaurant when the man allegedly barricaded himself in a back room with a gun. Police say the man was taken into custody around 5:30 p.m. and no one was hurt in the standoff. The South Dakota House is set to decide the fate of Attorney General Jason Ravnsborg today. Amy Rose has more.
The South Dakota House is set to decide whether Attorney General Jason Ravnsborg should be impeached for his conduct before and after he struck and killed a pedestrian on the shoulder of a highway. Troopers say that Ravnsborg was distracted before the September 2020 crash that killed 55-year-old Joseph Beaver. Opponents of impeachment say Ravnsborg need not be held accountable because he wasn't on the job when the crash happened. An investigation committee from the Republican-controlled House voted 6-2 along party lines against impeachment after arguments that Ravnsborg's actions were not part of his official duties in office. Republican Governor Kristi Noem pushed for impeachment, saying that Ravnsborg lied to investigators.
It is municipal election day across several Black Hills area communities. There are mayoral races in Sturgis, Lead, Deadwood, Whitewood, Spearfish, and Wall, and there's also council races in Sturgis, Whitewood, Spearfish, and Wall. Polls are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. today. In national news, President Joe Biden is visiting corn-rich Iowa to announce he'll suspend a federal rule preventing the sale of higher ethanol blend gasoline in the summer. Biden's administration is intensifying its efforts to tamp down prices at the pump that have spiked during Russia's war with Ukraine. Most gasoline sold in the U.S. is blended with 10% ethanol. The Environmental Protection Agency will issue an emergency waiver to allow widespread sale of 15% ethanol blend that's usually prohibited between June 1st and September 15th because of concerns it adds to smog and high temperatures. The Biden administration says the move will save drivers an average of 10 cents per gallon at 2,300 gas stations. Meanwhile, March saw the highest inflation rate in 40 years. Amy Rose explains.
With ever-rising costs for food, gasoline, housing, and other necessities squeezing consumers and threatening the economy, inflation in the United States likely set yet another 4-decade high in March. The government's Consumer Price Index being released Tuesday is expected to show that prices shot up 8.4% from 12 months earlier, and that's according to the economists surveyed by the data firm FactSet. That would mark the fastest year-over-year inflation since December of 1981. The March numbers will be the first to capture the full surge in gasoline prices that followed Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And Moscow's brutal attacks have triggered far-reaching Western sanctions against the Russian economy and have disrupted global food and energy markets.
Your weather forecast from the Home Slice Weather Center. Windy with snow showers possible this morning and a high of 40. Windy and cold tonight with a low of 16. And that was your Daily Slice for Tuesday, April 12th, 2022. The Daily Slice is a production of Home Slice Media Group, hosted by D. Ray Knight with Amy Rose and Chrissy Davies. Executive producer Mark Houston. Engineered by Chris Jacquez. I'm D. Ray Knight. Have a great day.